Oh, OM Digital Solution just sent me an email regarding the brand new lens and also a brand new lens roadmap. Let's dive right in. So yes, a brand new OM Digital Solution lens, and it's a pro lens. And more specifically, it's a medium tele macro lens. That has already been kind of speculating for the last, I don't know, 2 years in the previous roadmap. And yes, it's finally here. It's 90mm f3.5 Pro macro. Yeah, it's super exciting, and even though that this is not really kind of my genre and I don't do much macro photography, and it won't be a lens that I would be taking on a daily trip and things like that, but I'm sure if you're into macro photography, this will be very exciting for you, because you know, I have some information here to tell you about the lens, and also but I think, to me at least, and the more interesting part is the new roadmap, and there are a couple of things that is previously kind of highlighted in the older roadmaps, but I would just like to reiterate, just have a look at it, and you know, maybe have a little discussion with you and see what you think about those two other lenses that's currently highlighted in the new roadmap, so we can probably have a think about what they might be and whether they will be suitable for you. So first, let's talk about the lens. Right, it's a 90mm f3.5, as opposed to some of you guys has been speculating the f2.8 aperture. But let me tell you about 3.5 first. 90mm in micro four thirds is equivalent to 180mm in full frame terms. I remember the good old days when I was still a Canon shooter. They also had the 180mm f3.5 macro L lens, which is a professional macro photography lens. So this is actually pretty much equivalent, and in fact 3.5 is actually very, very bright, or very, very big for such a long focal length macro lens. Remember, you're shooting macro, and most macro photographers would tell you that 2.8, 3.5, even 3.5 is too much in terms of depth of field. They often have to do focus stacks in multiple layers, and to get the details and the depth that they need to capture the entire object or subject. So this is really important. And this 90mm 3.5 has a 4 times magnification. Yes, let me double check. It is 4 times maximum magnification. This is nuts. This is nuts. Yeah, and this is without any extension tubes and things like that. These lenses can do 4 times magnification. That is, yeah, it's pretty insane. And you know, the 60mm macro that I also have, and also the 3.5, which to me actually that's a handy piece of kit because it's really tiny and small. They both really works really well if I really want to do some close-ups on something that I need to photograph. Otherwise, you know, the normal prime lenses, the closest focusing distance is already enough for me to get close to something. So macro is a very specific usage for my type of genre of photography anyway. But anyway, this is 90mm and really fantastic. So what else can I tell you about it? They tell you it's an excellent optical performance, and well, I would not doubt that because it's a pro lens. I'm pretty sure it's going to have some fantastic sharpness and also resolutions coming out from this lens, especially if you want to use the high-res mode. I'm pretty sure you can get all the nitty stuff inside the gaps and cracks and things like that if you really want to. That's awesome. And also, it is dust and splash proof, which is expected for a pro lens, which actually has a rating for IPX53, which is same as the latest crop of top-end professional OM digital equipment, and it has inbuilt in-lens stabilization. So not just the IBIS, but you can use the lens IS as well. It's similar to 300 IS Pro and also the 12-100 f4 Pro. They all have lens ISO. This one does support lens ISO. That means you can have hybrid sync IS, both using the camera and also the lens IS to improve stability for any sort of handheld macro photography. Although having said that, if you're getting that close, and I doubt that you'll be using handheld unless you're going to start pumping a lot of flash and to freeze the moment. But if you want to do focus stack, you probably want to put it on the tripod anyway, not really using a handheld solution, because that sort of focal length in close distances, you are looking at some heavy shakes there. So but anyway, it does help to a certain amount if you're doing handheld photography. Having Sync IS always helps. What else is here? Not much. There's no pricing information. There's no image, nor they will tell you, or they tell me actually, no, they told me when they're going to release it, but they did say it's going to be 2023. So no specific months or anything like that. So I have no idea. It's going to be a lens for next year, but it's exciting because it shows that OM Digital Solution is still committed to all the lens developments within the roadmaps that we saw in the last couple of years. But I do have an updated one to show you guys, and this is the next thing we're going to talk about. Right, let's have a look at the brand new roadmap. Well, to be quite frank, nothing has changed that much since the last time I saw this, apart from obviously now it has a confirmed pro lens, which is the 90mm 3.5 macro IS Pro, and but the other two zoom lenses are still there. And but let me have a little discussion with you guys of what sort of thing I think, and after all the recent developments, and also I just want to not speculate, but it just express my imagination and a little bit about these two lenses, and and also I want to ask you, what do you guys think about them as well? So first of all, these two tele zoom lenses are pro grade. As you can see, that is actually being listed above that line that be drawn across the zoom categories there. You see the one below is the consumer zoom lenses, and the one above is the pro grade, basically. So that's interesting, because you can see that we have a ton of pro zoom lenses already, and we have the 2.8 Trinity. We also have the f4 Trinity now, and obviously the Beast 150-400, which is I'm still dreaming to own one day. It's too expensive to start with, and also it's going to be a 2 years waiting list, and to be honest, I don't get any priorities. If I want to order one now, I still have to queue up to get it. But anyway, let's go back to those two zoom lenses there. So it always puzzles me, even last time when I saw this roadmap, is that these two lenses are very much similar in terms of focal range. And if you look at it, they are covering between 45 to 200 and 250. So it kind of overlaps that 40 to 150 f2.8 Pro lens range, and also the f4 as well. The 40 to 150 f2.8 Pro lens has been around for a while, and it's been my work lens. It lives in my bag every single day because it's such a versatile, very sharp, very cool lens that I really love, and it's probably one of my favorite lenses in the entire range here. Because it's such a lens I use so often. So this new one, that's the first one, the new 45 to 200 Pro lens could potentially be a replacement for the 40 to 150 f2.8 Pro. I'm suggesting it because OM Digital Solution has replaced the 12 to 40 2.8 Pro lens. Remember when they launched the OM1 camera? So this could be not a rebrand version like the 12 to 40, but it could be a completely new lens, just increase the focal length just by a tad to 200 instead of 150, and this could be a massive thing for many photographers, because if they somehow manage to keep the profile very similar to the current lens, and that means you get a very compact f2.8 constant aperture Pro lens that has this enormous zoom range. I don't know what to say. If this is true, this could be my next purchase, full stop. And the other one, however, is going to be an interesting, right, this one covers the range between 45 to 250 based on the color kind of spread between the focal length. It could go two ways. First, it could go big, going to be a pro grade sports and wildlife specific telezoom lens with huge potential in getting really long range by using the teleconverters, which they won't overlap the 150 to 400, but it could be another lens for that with a 2.8 aperture instead of 4.5. So this could be a humongous lens that could also cost you an arm and leg to buy it. Or we would go the other direction. To keep it small, keep it a very lightweight travel pro lens with long range zoom. So it could be an f4 constant aperture lens, f4, f3.5. I don't know. I don't think they would go 3.5. Probably f4 Pro IS, and between 45 to 250. So this could be a very versatile lens for many travelers, landscape photographers, sports, potentially a little bit because it's f4 in my limit in terms of lighting. And but you never know. Let me know your thoughts about these two lenses. But I think they are very, very interesting lenses. Just from my imaginations now, because I've been hoping to see something similar. But to me, especially the first one that I mentioned, the potential 45 to 200 millimeters, not 2.8, the pro lens, could be an interesting one. If it is the direct replacement to the 40 to 150 f2.8 Pro, that could be a quite a significant lens for the entire system, because the 40 to 150 has been around for a little while now, and it may due for an update for future-proofing itself, basically. If OM Digital Solution does choose to have a high-resolution sensors in the future, they want to maintain the sharpness, the resolutions, and things like that, they will need to upgrade the optics. So they will have to do that at some point. So if they are going to do it, they might as well do it now to make sure that they have that cover for the next few years. So that could be interesting. And the other one, obviously, is up in the air, and I'm just thinking out loud. There's, like the go-to ways, the big aperture way or the small aperture way, depending on what sort of needs, what sort of marketing, and also what sort of research in terms of user needs that they have found to determine what sort of direction they're going to go. But these are the two new lenses that I want to talk about. But what are the things would you like to see OM Digital Solution to be included, or to include in the new roadmaps in the future? Because I think we've seen this roadmap for a couple of years now, and we got things being announced now and things being basically uncovered with the proper name and terms. I would like to see, personally, ultra wide and wide prime lenses. I want to see more of that, such as the 7 or 8 millimeters 1.4, and also the 12 millimeters 1.4, 1.2, because the 12 f2 has been around, since almost the beginning of the Olympus Micro Four Third time. So that's been around for a long time. I love that lens. Don't get me wrong. I love that lens. It's compact. It's nice. But I think it's time for a pro version to come out, and also maybe a large aperture prime lens, in tele range, maybe something like the 100 f2, 150 f2, something like that. That we had that in the 4/3 era, right? And so maybe something like that in the Micro Four Third RAM. That if they do, they would be the first one to do it without anybody else, because there's no one else doing that at the moment. And Panasonic is definitely not doing it. Laowa maybe, but manual lens on the tele range is going to be very tricky. So it's not going to be a practical lens. So please, OM Digital Solutions. And personally, I would like to see these prime lenses be added in the roadmaps in the future. That would be really awesome, especially ultra wide categories for my vlogging. I'm just being, I'm just expressing my opinion here. I'm just being a little bit selfish here, but why not? If I'm expressing my wish, might as well do it right here now. And because I already bought the Panasonic Leica 9mm 1.7. You haven't seen the review, the link is up here. I love that lens because the focal length is good. It's rectilinear, it's good for my vlogging, it's 1.7, bright apertures, AF. What more can you ask for, right? For Olympus or OM, I need an ultra wide like that too. And if you do that, the Panasonic Leica will be on the second-hand market, and this will be my dream lens. I'm just waiting for you to do one, and so I can grab one. yeah. Anyway, what will be your choices? What will be the lenses that you would like OM to do in the future? I think that would be really cool, right? And let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, I guess. And I've got more things to cover. And I've been working flat out for the last few weeks. And I've got jobs, just like I told you, throughout the entire summer. So I'm really up to my neck at the moment, and I'm trying to catch up as much as I can, and it's slowly rolling some of the videos out now. I still have a ton to do, so hopefully I'll catch up in time for a lot of new content for you guys to see. And I've got a couple of really interesting lenses. I've got some cine lenses, and if you haven't followed my Instagram, you'll see them posted a trinity of cine lenses by Viltrox, and they are currently being tested by me at the moment. So these are really cool stuff. And also the secret lens, stay tuned for that. Not from OM Digital Solution, that's a hint already. So it's by someone else, but it's an awesome lens, I can guarantee that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy yourself wherever you are, and remember, keep shooting, keep dreaming, and just be happy. Until next time, I'll see you all very, very soon. Peace.